Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to give you the top 10 tips for looting in Scum 0.85. So these are my top 10 tips that I have figured out in the short period of time that I've been playing the new update. So as you guys can see, I'm a new character, just with some new female hairstyles. And the biggest thing that you want to start with, in Scum is basically the crafting that I've showed you guys multiple times. But today I'm going to show you guys 10 looting locations that helps me a heck of a lot to get looted, okay? So the first place that I like to loot when I spawn into the map, and I'm not in the forest, because the forest, we all know what we can craft in the forest. So when we start getting to loot that we must find is inventory space. Okay, so this is a police station. It's right here in C1, but I mean, you guys know there's a lot of towns with police stations. And when we come into police stations, the first part that you want to look at is the jail cells up inside the police station. Okay, and up in these cells, you will find backpacks. You can find normal backpacks. You can find hiking backpacks, assault backpacks. Okay, but the police station is not a bad place to start at all. We've got these various containers that you can search. Okay, so we've got a melee weapon there. The boxes aren't really something that I focus on. You can find ammo on the desks, which is very, very important. There's another melee weapon. You can find various loot like armor and everything. It depends on how lucky you are. And then I'm just going to use the admin powers to open up these lockers. These lockers aren't bad at all for starting gear. Again, stab-proof vests, revolvers, pistols, stuff like that. You can always come to the roof. The roof can possibly give you some loot. Okay, it's normally lying on the floor, so there's no loot lying on the floor here. Again, there could be ammo and magazines on the tables. You could find bobby pins and other loot. Okay, and then again, the lockers are not bad at all. You're going to need about 8 screwdrivers and 8 bobby pins to loot these containers. As you can see already, ammo box there. So not bad at all. SF-19 magazine. Okay, and like I say, there's only 8 lockers inside here that you need to loot. A few desks that you can possibly get bobby pins from. And again, more clothing. And then, of course, the police lockers. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad for starting loot. And again, we've already got a HS9 magazine, a SF-19.45, a Deagle magazine, shotgun ammo. There we find a 50 Deagle and another magazine. Okay, so the first one is definitely police stations. I have found hiking backpacks. I have found shotguns. Okay, so very, very good for starting gear. And this you can get in any town. Now, when it comes to clothing, you can find clothing within houses, but there is one spot that I really like when it comes to clothing. So let's jump there quickly. Tip number 2 is the big city, Summerbore City. Okay, as you guys can see, they have nerfed the fog a lot. It is still a bit hectic at night, but during the day, it's not bad at all. You've got clear vision of everything. And the hunting shops, or the Summerbore City has got these clothing shops that can help you a lot, okay, to find better clothing. Sometimes you'll get really, really lucky. Other times you won't get so lucky, okay? But as you can see, we've already replaced the starting clothing here. And then again, inside here, you can come for some cool sunglasses. And then we go to the other clothing store. So over here is the second clothing store that I like to loot. It's right across from the tool shop and the restaurant or bar or whatever you want to call it. So you can come in here and see what your luck is like. Doesn't have a lot of clothing, but again, depending on when you loot it, you can get very, very lucky. Okay, and then the third clothing store is quite easy. So you just run down this road, and then while you're on your way to the third clothing store, they've got the Chinese stores, which also has clothing. Okay, so it's got Chinese clothing, but that's not really going to help you. These cardboard boxes inside the Chinese shops can give you a Dao sword, okay, or a spear. If you don't get a Dao sword, you can probably get a spear. Okay, there's 2 Chinese shops in the big city. There's these fans that you can cool down with if you get very, very hot. But like I say, you can get Dao swords here. I'm just basically, doing this fresh. Don't know what's going to spawn for me, but these cardboard boxes is where you can find a Dao sword that's going to help you a heck of a lot on your journey. We didn't get lucky this time, but there is Dao swords there and various clothing. So I'd say the China, I'll just use the big city as tip number 2. Okay, here's another clothing store. But like I say, in the normal towns, you can find clothing as well. Okay, and depending on how good your luck is, will depend on what kind of clothing you can get. But I mean, you can get clothing everywhere. And I'm just going to delete the puppets here. And then again, the big city is definitely the top tip for me on tip number 2, because except for the clothing, you normally get drinks over here, something to drink. Okay, again, not being lucky at the moment, but you usually get something to drink there. And it's got a lot of various loot that will help you a ton. But all the loot has changed in the game, so what you might have not found very useful in some places are very useful at the moment. One of these places is definitely the tool shop that can have a yellow screwdriver, but it does have a lot of loot that can help you a lot in the beginning. Okay, so it's right across from this like monumental water pond over there in the big city. And all I do is I just press. You can see there nails. A lot of people struggle to find nails. There's 20 nails. A lot of people struggle to find nails in the game. So the tool shop is really, really good for just overall a lot of loot, okay, that you'd want to find. And then it's got this little room inside here. So tool shop is very, very powerful. And then the one thing that has definitely gone up in value is the gun shops, okay? The gun shops weren't always that great, but at the moment, the gun shops are quite good. And then again, at some point, you want to get absinthe to turn your rags into better rags, okay? And there's clothing, there's like milk and everything here. A lot of various loot you can get here. Water, which you will need. Just various alcohol that you can sell. There's some food. You can search all these fridges, okay? And a lot of time when you come here, you can find absinthe. But again, if you loot the city as a whole, you're almost guaranteed to find absinthe. It just looks like I'm on a very, very unlucky run here. You've got these tables outside, so you don't have to press tab. You can just check if the tables have anything on them. And then this gun shop is also very, very useful at the moment. You can see there, military hat. Got a lot of, again, here you can find like guns and ammo. And I never liked these gun shops in 0.8, but since 0.85, they've really become more important than they used to be. You will get quite a lot of PvP fights in here because most people know, what kind of loot you can get here. So it will make a big difference. You can get a bedroll as well, that you can carry with you. So a lot of people understand now that the gun shops are much better for loot. So it's definitely something to consider. And yeah, gun shops have a lot more value than they used to have. And then, of course, another big thing about the big city, there's a lot of things in the big city, guys, but we're going to go to another clothing spot and then the hunting store quickly. So, right next to the stadium, okay, that I showed you guys previously, the big stadium, is this MCM building right here. And this building has got these lockers that are also good for clothing, okay? So you can search all of these lockers and you will get different kinds of clothing inside them as well. Again, I've done this where I've gotten very, very lucky. It looks like while I'm making the video, this character is the unluckiest character in a while because I am playing on vanilla loot. But again, okay, again, you can get clothing, and I mean, you don't just use clothing to wear. You use clothing to cut up into rags as well, especially when you found absinthe, so that you can make those better rags, because those better rags are going to save your life, okay? And there's a lot of these lockers, and these lockers can definitely, can definitely save your life. This police baton isn't too bad. We just get this puppet up. Okay, the baton is not bad at all. If you guys are wondering, is the baton useful? Yes, it is. It hits quite a lot harder than what I can remember it hitting. Yes, that is a thin puppet, but still, it's got some punching power. And again, like I say, if you're looking for rags, it's always good to have quite a lot of antiseptic rags on you, especially if your medical skill isn't high. And again, there we find a jean. Okay, we can cut up the other pants for rags. And like I say, there's a lot of these lockers. So if you are looking for rags, because you're in the big city, it's a PvP area. If you get shot, you'd like to deal with it. The big city has got suicide puppets as well, where if you get later into the game, you'd like to defuse them, okay, to get the C4 parts. And again, if you're trying to defuse puppets, you know that they're going to hurt your gear, so you're going to need sewing kits, and then you're going to need, clean rags to heal yourself with. So again, this place is really, really good for clothing. And then the final place that I want to show you in the big city is the hunting shops. There are 2 hunting shops in the big city, but this one is quite easy. Here at the big supermarket that you get right here above C3, okay? You'll get a hunting shop here in the corner. And again, clothing, shoes, okay, combat helmet, various loot that you can find in here, another deagle, okay, ammo, a lot of various loot that you can get in here, so it's a very, very good spot to loot. And then, of course, the big city is quite famous for the amount of vehicle spawns that are here. Not always, but you guys must remember that people are losing vehicles constantly, okay? So this Volkswagen over here has luckily got 4 wheels, okay? And we will cover the wheels soon, because in one of my sessions, I was trying to get 1 wheel for a Volkswagen on a populated server, and I struggled to get the wheel, okay? But we will get into that later. So, it's a few tips that I've given you guys, but all I'm saying is, yes, the big city is a big PvP location, but it's a great place to start off with. So I would say, if you ever drop anywhere near here, I would try and go for the big city. And then if you drop anywhere near here, I would go for the scrapyard and the hospital. And then over here, this city is great and that city is great. Any big city is really a good idea. So let's move on a bit, because in my latest builds, I've shown you guys how to start with 1 constitution. And something that you might struggle with is probably infections, if you want to start with 1 constitution to boost up those other skills. Now, I'm sure you guys have come across these doors a lot in buildings, okay? And these specific ones have got a lot of boxes that you can search. But these buildings, you get quite a lot in this long town here in Z3, okay? And what is different about it is the interior. You can clearly see the interior is a lot more different. And it's even got this nice shading here over the door, okay? So you'll clearly see a big difference with what the interior looks like, okay? It's got a lot more decorations. And these specific buildings have got specific, how can I say, specific bathroom, like cabinets that I call the medical, I call these the medical, cabinets, because you get a lot of medical equipment and various things that can help you out, okay? So this one gave us a bobby pin, which wasn't very helpful. But again, okay, there's a lot more things to search in here. And then we just go to the second place. Again, we're just going for the bathrooms mainly. And then here's two of them. So you see soap there. And again, being quite unlucky at the moment, but just make sure that you search these cabinets, because they can give you very, very good medical equipment, okay? So just focus on these buildings. And again, because I'm in this town, we're quickly going to visit the police station, which is on this side, okay? And see what we can get there. But to speed it up a bit, I'm just going to go right to the police station. Okay, I'm inside the police station, just making sure that I get rid of all the puppets in the area. And again, these police stations are really, really nice because they've got more lockers. A standard police station only has 8 lockers that you can unlock. This one has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So instead of just having 8 lockers that can give you really, really good loot, this specific one has 30 lockers that can give you very, very good loot, okay? And again, I do feel the police stations are very, very strong these days, and you'd be amazed what you can find. I found police assault backpacks, police tactical vests, a lot of nice loot. And again, there's a backpack, but it could be an assault backpack, or it could be a hiking backpack. And again, if we just look at the lockers, the loot, there's a whole box of buckshot, okay? Which is extremely good. So those are those 2 lockers. Then we're going to open up these lockers. There's a police helmet. There's a HS9 we already got. So just from the 2 police stations that I've looted, okay? I've got the HS9. I've got the box of 9mm ammo, which I can, now this box of 9mm ammo, I can load in the HS9 magazine now. Sorry, that's not the HS9. So we're going to take the HS9 magazine. We've got 2 SF19 magazines here. So now we can load the SF19, HS9 magazine, and we can defend ourselves, okay, with 2 police stations. So the spots that I'm showing you is very multi-purpose. Summerbore City has got a lot of things that can help you get started. Police stations have got a lot of things, okay, that can help you get started. And right there, we've got an HS9 with the full magazine, okay? And this HS9 really looks cool. It's one of the coolest looking guns with 16 rounds, where the SF19 has got 19 rounds. But it's still a really, really nice nice thing. There's a Block 21, and we've got the ammo, okay? We can get the magazine for it quite easily. So it's a really, really, really good starting location. There's a .44 ammunition box. You do get revolvers inside here as well. So except for the loot, it can help you to defend yourself extremely quickly. You guys can see the starting gear. There's the SF19. Now we've got an SF19 and an HS9, okay, with the magazine. So you can you can defend yourself very, very, very quickly. And there's the revolver, okay? That revolver takes .357, but we could have gotten another revolver that uses that ammo. So it helps you to get off the starting blocks really, really quickly, okay? So the first tip is the police station. The second tip is the big city. The third tip is the medical lockers, and of course in that town, and of course all the pharmacies in every town. The pharmacies will help you. And when it comes to medical equipment, do not underestimate the hospital, guys. Do not underestimate the hospital. We're going to go there quite quickly, just so that I can give you a quick breakdown of just how powerful this location is. Okay, so here we are at the hospital, guys. And again, the hospital, tip number 4, the hospital also has a lot of uses. You can get cars, you can get medical equipment, you can get cookbooks, you can get books. Like the big reason why I never really crafted the stab-proof this one is because you have to find a lot of diaries, okay? Which was quite difficult to find in the beginning. But we're just going to go up to the main building here. Okay, so here we are at the main building, okay? I always like to focus on the main building when I come to the hospital. You can search all the buildings. You'll get a lot of medical equipment like antibiotics and everything. Like I say, a lot of medical equipment. That's a tourniquet. Extremely, extremely powerful. You can search all these places, okay? All these places are extremely powerful. Again, a very, very nice spot to multitask, okay? It's got a lot of different rooms that you can search, and then these bookshelves gives you a lot of cooking books that will help you a lot. But it doesn't only have cooking books. It's got various loot, like the diaries. Helps you a lot to find the diaries as well. Okay, so there's the diaries. So again, a lot of multitasking here, cooking books, medical equipment. And then the one place that I really, really, really like, if I can just get up here quickly, is if I'm in this room, okay, then just want to check here quickly. When I'm in this room, there's a lot of other stuff here. I want to get up the stairs as fast as possible. So I'm just going to run here until I find stairs. Okay, so it's this place right here. Don't know what you call that. A lot of freaking chairs. And then you run over here, and then you come up here. And then these right here at the top, these can give you a lot of different equipment as well. I just basically searched these. It's got these little tables as well. So these are a lot of close quarters looting locations that you can loot. And I have found shotguns in here, medical equipment. Again, a lot of various different ammo, but again, you can loot these places one after each other very, very fast. So the one thing I like about the new update is that loot is a bit more specific, because I do hear of a lot of people that struggle to find something that they are specifically looking for. But again, there's money there, okay? And then the gloves are very easy. The insulated rubber gloves are extremely easy to find, but again, they are not 100%, okay? Yes, you can find a lot of them, but again, they are not 100%, so they're not as great as new rubber gloves, okay? But as I'm telling you guys, and I'm doing this, not planned or anything like this. There's just a random run on a vanilla loot server. But like I said, I have found shotguns, medical equipment, stuff like this. You can see mostly this run is quite unlucky, but your runs will vary from time to time, okay? Which will make a huge difference. Like we were unlucky with a lot of the places, but then as soon as we got to the police stations, we got the 2 pistols. Okay, so at some spots you will get unlucky, and then at other spots you will get lucky. And like I tell you guys, I have found a shotgun here quite regularly. And like I say, the looting, the spots, there we find the thread. Now we need a puppet, and then we can repair our holster and our backpack, okay? So again, a lot of more 9mm ammo. That's a bit broken, but it's fine. But just a lot of looting opportunities in a very, very close area. And then, you know, you can clearly hear if someone's going to come to you. If you hear someone outside, you can easily get onto the roof to check out your location. There's clean rags. You get quite a lot of clean rags in this area, which is going to help you a heck of a lot. But again, if you hear someone outside, then you can always just get out of here. Okay, it's a little bit more difficult than it used to be. So you can get out of here, get onto the roof, and now you can see, you can look who's outside. Okay, if you hear someone outside, you can run on the roof, you know, and just see what's the danger level at. And then if you want to be really, really gutsy, okay, and you want to get out of that tight spot, you can try fancy things, which is not the best idea in the world, okay? But you can try fancy things like running onto those balconies, which I have done. I just didn't get very, very lucky now. But again, you've got a lot of options, which makes a huge difference. So the places that I'm showing you is very multitask orientated, and we just dropped the pistol. So it's very multitask orientated, and that's what I like about it. Okay, so let's move on to the next spot that I really, really like. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we come to another fantastic spot, which is the scrapyard. Again, multitasking. The scrapyard can give you a ton of scrap metal. Okay, this bottom room over here is really, really nice for a lot of different reasons. Like here we get a generator. We've got the gun to defend ourselves. Okay, the HS9 is really, really powerful. Lot of different things to loot inside here, so it's fantastic for multitasking. Once again, there we get the bolts. Okay, so we can just be a little bit more specific with what we choose here. So we can put that there, we can put that there. So now we've got bolts and nails, which is extremely good for base building. A lot of looting spots here that can really, really help you. Again, it's a scrapyard. There's a lot of different things. The scrap piles are very, very useful. And these rooms are not so useful. The rooms with a desk at the end, you can spawn a weapon on top. So never skip these little white, these little white buildings that can, or not buildings, containers that can give you really good loot. A lot of scrap all over the show, vehicles. And then these don't really have a use at the moment, but I mean, you can get stuff there. And then the cars are very, 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 very important. You can get various loot from the cars, and how the cars work is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so just before the blue car that you can search, okay, which gives you various loot, and then the next car you can search. Okay, you can't search this one because that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can't search this one, but the 10th, that's the 10th one, and then it starts all over again at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't search this one, but number 1 I can. So there's 10 card gaps between what you can search, okay? But again, a heck of a lot of cards that you can search. You can search this side, and you can search the other side. It's same here. This is one side, okay, where you can get various loot. This is another side where you can search again 10 cards at a time. You can see a lot of different loot, which makes a huge difference to your looting. And then a brand new feature, and this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, is that I struggled for 4 hours to find a specific wheel that I needed to complete a Volkswagen with. But these tire piles don't give you the rubber bands and the piece of rubber that they used to give you. Now, they give you various kinds of wheels, okay? So, that's a bicycle wheel, that's a wheel for a Leica, that's a wheel for a dirt bike, that's a wheel for a mountain bike, okay? That's for a Leica, that's for a city bike, that's for a dirt bike, that's for a Volkswagen. I think this is the back wheel. There's 2 different wheels that you can get. I think that was the back wheel. That's the front wheel of the dirt bike. Again, Leica wheel, Volkswagen wheel. So if you're looking for wheels, Scrapyard is really good. And I wish I knew this earlier. But again, Scrapyard, very powerful. So once you can defend yourself, then you can start looking at better loot. And that's where we move to bunkers. So here we are in the C2 bunker. I just chose the C2 bunker because it's got a lot of the things that I'm looking for. These big rooms is definitely something that I'm looking for, okay? You can get various kinds of loot here. Of course, you can search all of them that's on the pallet, which you usually can't. You can find armor here, various other things. These boxes have got a lot of ammo and pistols and a lot of various loot that will help you a ton. So do yourself a favor and search every single one of these containers, every single cardboard box, every little metal container like that. I promise you, you will find a lot of loot here, okay? Pistols, ammunition, very good, very nice loot, okay? The bunker has got a lot of things that stand out, but the main things that stand out is the armories, because there's a few bunkers, 5 bunkers in the game with 3 armories, and the armories are very important for your final, to be competitive, to really stand your ground when you go to a cargo drop or when you get into a PvP fight, okay? Very powerful. Now this, you can get lucky here still, but again, the power is right in the lockers. And this used to be a big problem in Scum, where people didn't really want to unlock the lockers because most of the time the lockers had nothing. So it was a very big problem in the game. I personally just looted lockers for the key cards, okay, so that I can do a kill box. But these days, the lockers are very useful, okay? Extremely useful. So, gone are the days where you're wasting your time on lockers, okay? Bunkers are extremely lucrative at the moment. And again, look there, there's a helmet over there, okay? Again, search the top layer and the bottom layer, okay? You can find a lot of loot, and a lot of times I just run like this. There's a helmet. There's the best helmet in the game, okay? And I can sell that helmet. But a lot of the times, if I'm in a hurry, I just run like this. There's food, okay? Now, I want to search everything, but again, if I'm in a hurry, I'll just run past them, okay? And then here's the other armory. Again, we're not very lucky, but we can find clothing. We can find a hiking backpack in here. And like I say, these containers can give you, you don't need to find, you don't need to unlock it, but unlocking the lockers is where the secret sauce is at. Okay, unlocking the lockers is definitely where the secret sauce is at these days. And then, like I say, the C2 bunker has got 3 armories, like I've shown you guys before. I will know when I get to the other one. And the way I get to the armories is the top floor has got 3 doors, it's the middle one. That side has got 3 doors, it's the middle one. And then one of these, where there's only 2 doors, one of the side doors has got the other armory. Okay? And you'll see the armory quite quickly. So here where there's just 2 doors, one of them will have the armory, and you'll see it quite quickly. Okay? It's right here. So again, you could find, you could find clothing and everything inside here, but I am quite unlucky when it comes to the clothing or whatever. This character is going through a very bad run, but when it comes to the lockers, you don't really get a bad run with the lockers, okay? You really don't get a bad run when it comes to lockers. So bunkers value has gone up drastically. And of course, the lockers are a must, okay? It's a must for playing the game. And yes, guys, now you can get the bullets slowly but surely. Of course, you're gonna have to level up your fame so you can use the traders. The Dao swords at the Chinese shops goes for about 3,500 each. That will help you a heck of a lot. And searching olive bushes, searching the logs, having a farm at your base will help you a heck of a lot, because the farm will yield you a lot of crops that can build up your fame. And then when you're geared like this, you can stand your ground. Now, if you don't have the fame, you just don't want to build a farm, you don't want to pick olives, then you're going to have to search these lockers until you find a key card, okay? And with a key card, you can get to end game. And the end game, ladies and gentlemen, is the kill box, because we don't need any fame to do a kill box. Now again, you're going to need the specific key card to open the door.
How dare you enter my lair,
You're going to need...
Oh,
you're going to need a wire cutter.
No more than usual, that is.
To open this. This is
Killbot.
That's just the C4 part. Very difficult to get through this lock.
Here are the rules. You've got 15 minutes to show us how skillful you are.
You don't have to go for that. You can just go for the bronze locks. So this is one bronze lock. Bronze lock is not too difficult to get into. And there we go. We've got a complete M1 rifle kit. 3 full magazines, a bayonet to kill the puppets, a suppressor. Okay, that's a bronze lock. I'm just showing you guys the bronze locks. Okay, you're not gonna kill yourself to try and figure out bronze locks. This is a bronze lock as well. There we've got a full Car 98 with a military jacket, with military shoes, with the scope, with the helmet, everything, okay? This is 2 bronze locks that don't have zappers on them. So just from the 3 bronze containers, we just found 2 sniper rifles and a fully kitted AR. Okay, full kitted AR with 2 scopes, close range and ACOG for 4 times with a suppressor. Okay, I'm going to put this gun on me so that you guys can just remember what the heck we found here. And just load it with a magazine. Okay, don't need to load it, but this is what we got here. And the other one, we found the Car 98. Put the bayonet on there. and it's giving us the
I
rail
want to remind
and the
everyone
scope.
that the new Killbox memorabilia keychain can be found in our store. Order yours now. They say the more the merrier. So let's make it a party.
Now that we've got the bayonet, we can just stab them. And that's it, guys. And then if you are little, if you've got lockpicks left, then you want to try the silver lock. Okay, the silver lock is difficult, but I mean, that can complete your journey. And here we get a M16 kit with night vision, with the pants, with the tactical vest. Okay? And there we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is without any fame. And then we just want to get out of
30
here.
seconds left.
That
Roses are red.
is without any
Violets
fame.
are blue. Here come the lasers that cut you
So,
in two.
this was probably, if we have to recap, number one is the police
10
stations.
seconds mark.
Just want to get out of here. So, just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, the police stations, very, 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 very strong. Second is the big city. Third is the clothing stores. Fourth are the gun stores. Fifth is the hunting stores or the hunting shops. Six is the the pharmacies, and the medical cabinets in those certain ocean cities. Seventh is the hospital with the cooking books, okay, and all the medical gear. Eighth is the scrapyard with the wheels that you can get very easily. Ninth is the bunkers where you focus on the lockers, just like you focus on the lockers in the police station. And then last is the kill box. That is basically 10 tips. You can, and the city is big. So if you want a PvP, do it. If you don't want a PvP, loot the city when there's very little players. Loot the city early in the morning. Or go to battlemetrics.com and see when your server is at its quietest. And then go to the big cities. Other than that, you can loot what you want.
Feel free to
And
browse
then
around.
to get a hiking backpack, you need 40 fame. Okay, then you've got a hiking backpack, which is going to help you a heck of a lot. And you can buy, clothing that you want. The hiking backpack's going to cost you 40. The pants is going to cost you 40. I think all the clothing, the sporin bag is going to cost you 40. 40 fame is not a lot, guys. 40 fame is really, really not a lot. The fame target that I will aim for, because I feel I can find a car with what I've showed you guys how to loot. The only things that are going to be difficult for me is like, if I don't get a tactical vest, because it's not too easy to find a tactical vest. 120 fame is going to be my target. Okay, and I like to get a tactical jacket. So 40 is going to be my main target, to have as much inventory space as possible. And then later, I want ammo. Okay, so then we're going to look at 240. So if I go... so it's 180 for the ammo, okay? So in the beginning, 40 is going to give you all the inventory space that you need. And then you're going to have to go to 180, okay? 180 is going to be your target. So that you can buy, like we found the RPK. But I mean, yes, we can find ammunition and everything around the world. But if we want to buy it, 180 fame is going to be your target. 400 is the maximum. for your vehicles. But if you want to buy that drum magazine for the RPK, and I promise you, you will find an AK or an RPK in the bunker lockers to fill up that drum magazine,
All right.
and buy
Let's do this.
the ammo. You're gonna need 180 fame. And my previous video, showed you that olive picking, just searching all the logs and all the olive bushes that you see throughout the world will help you. Everything you find, drag it into your inventory first and then drop it. That helps you over time. Playing longer over time helps you. Being a lot more careful when you go to cargo drops, because dying punishes you a lot. And then that farm, okay? You need 180 fame. I showed you guys with 100, with the biggest farm that you can make in the game. I got 180 with one go, okay? But let's say you just have a 5x5 farm. Instead of having a 10x10 farm, we have a 5x5 farm, which is only 25 plot signs. So in one day, if you search that 25 plot sign with 25 potato seeds that you planted, if you search that plot, which isn't very big, 4 times in one day, you will get to about 200 fame. Okay? And building a farm with 5x5 plot signs really isn't a lot. And just so that I can show you guys that quickly, let's just go here quickly.
All right, let's do this.
And I mean, when you buy a seed bag, seeds aren't that difficult. But let's just make sure. I think I've got guard mode on. So you need the flag, and you need a farm plot. Farm plot takes no skill. Okay, so you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Okay. So you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you've got your farm 5 plot signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now I actually went too big. So let's just try and figure this out quickly. Okay, so this is actually a 2x2. So what we're gonna have to do is, this is 2. Three. No, that's too big. So that's the starting one. 1, 2. One, 2. Okay, so from the starting point, 1, 2, and 1, 2 will give you 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a very, very easy plot sign. So let's try and move it 3 blocks. Okay, it's the starting plot. 1, 2. No, that's too much. That's too much. So we're going, that's starting 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's your starting plot. 3 right, 3 deep, 3 wider, 3 deeper. Then you've got the 5x5 plot. And as you guys saw with 100, with 100 plots, I got about 200 fame with one search. And then with 25 plot, you'll get there. Even with no farming, guys. Yes, my character had, advanced farming. But still with no farming, you'll get there. Okay? And let me just see, has this character got any farming? This character's got very, very little farming, okay? So I might wait a day before I upload this video just to see how much fame we can get from this little plot sign. Let's see if I add that at the end of the video, shall we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an entire day, and as you can see, 5 by 5, everything is ripe according to me. We have got 1,000 fame, but let's turn that into 0. Okay, get an accurate representation here of how much we can get. So this is, and when you finish this farm, you will end up with basic farming. Okay, when you do everything that I've done. So that's 1. Had to keep myself busy, guys. Had to keep myself busy with other tests. Which I will showcase later. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, throughout your gameplay, you can still pick olives if you want to. Now, you know, everything you run past, if you run past a log, search it. If you run past the olive bush, search it. Everything that you find, you know, that you think is high value, double click it into your inventory first and then drop it, even if you're not going to use it. And over time, you build up fame as well. Okay, so we needed 180 fame so that we can buy the magazines and the ammo. We can do that because this farm will refresh once an hour. So within a 4-hour session, we can reach 200 fame and buy the ammo that we want. And then, because we've done this little bit of work that will take you about a day, you'll have a permanent supply of at least 50 fame an hour. Never mind the other things that you do. Never mind the people that you kill. Okay? And you'll give your server a bit of a boost when it comes to the fame. And then, of course, all you need for this farm is basically the bolts that you need to build the farm. And then you're going to need 3 industrial bags of fertilizer. Doesn't cost a lot. You can put 4 bags of fertilizer in a hiking backpack. because it's 25 plots, you're going to need to add fertilizer 3 times. Once you've made the plot, first add the fertilizer. Then you add the seeds so that there's a little bump. After you've got 25 bumps, spray it with weed repellent, then fungicide, and then pesticide. Because it's 25 plots, you're going to need 2 little squirt guns of pesticide, weed repellent, and fungicide. Okay, not going to be that expensive. The weeds will then never grow back. It's better to spray all these things after it's got a bump, after there's a plant. It doesn't, like, even the weed repellent doesn't work right if you spray the weed repellent before there's a seed in the ground. Okay, it definitely needs a seed in the ground. And then, you just wait. That's it. Rain will give you water on your plants up until 2 liters. If you want to fill it up, just take 2-liter bottles and fill your backpack with 2-liter bottles, whether there's cool drink in or water in, it doesn't really matter. And you spill 2 liters on every plot sign. Okay, and then wham bam, you're done. Why is potato so great? Well, we've got 0 intake on the energy and on the water, but a potato gives us very, very good carbs, not a lot of fat, and a bit of protein. Okay, but I want you to see what happens after you've eaten 1 potato. You get 710 calories per hour of energy, which is good, and 960 milliliters per hour of water. Okay, so it's a very, very good balance between the two. And then you can just top it up, like now and then you can top it up with corn flakes or rice, something that's very, very high in carbs. Okay, but this acts as water and food at the same time. And that, like I say, if you top it up with rice, your intake rate goes up to 900. Anything close to 1,000 is really, really, really good. Okay, so the last bonus tip that I've got for you guys is probably a question that you want to ask me, like, Luthais, where do we get screwdrivers to do that kill box? Well, the most basic place where you get screwdrivers is on puppets. Puppets drop screwdrivers. The second most basic place is any place where you think tools will be used, like garages, workshops, kind of workshop factories, anywhere where you think tools are being used. That's the second spot. All over the world, randomly, if you search everything, like at a church, you're holding tab. Sometimes the screwdrivers are just lying in the open. So random locations is third. The fourth option is bunkers. You can definitely find them in bunkers if you search the entire bunker. And then the best option is cargo drops, because not only can a cargo drop give you yellows, a cargo drop can give you a lot of red screwdrivers, and a cargo drop can give you advanced lockpicks, which is extremely important. So good luck for the future. If this helped you, do me a favor and click that like button. If you think I've left anything out, or if you want to help the community with something that you've learned, please leave it down in the comments down below. And if you want to see and learn everything there is to see and learn about Scum, then hit that subscribe button. Love you guys. Have a great day. Keep on surviving. And we've got a bunch of fantastic plans for the future that you guys will never imagine. Just like the devs told us, we can never imagine what they're planning. You guys can never imagine what I'm planning. Cheers.